These are the 10 electronics that TSA is confiscating from travelers in 2026, and most people have no idea they're at risk until their belongings are already gone. What I'm about to share with you could save you hundreds of dollars and keep you from missing your flight. Airlines won't mention any of this, TSA won't send you a warning email, and by the time you reach the security checkpoint, you've already lost your chance to do anything about it. Here's what changed. Across airports in the United States, TSA quietly swapped out the old X-ray machines for hospital-grade CT scanners, and these aren't the scanners you remember from 5 years ago. Artificial intelligence powers them now, and they analyze your belongings with a level of precision that catches most travelers completely off guard. Density, shape, wiring patterns, even chemical signatures, all of it gets measured within seconds. Every battery and every circuit and every unfamiliar object in your bag gets compared against a database and flagged before you've even reached the conveyor belt. And here's the thing that frustrates experienced travelers most. The rules themselves haven't dramatically changed, but enforcement has become a completely different game. Items that slipped through security for years now light up on TSA screens in bright red, and there's no more looking the other way. Zero tolerance means exactly that. When something appears questionable on that scanner, it gets pulled, and when it can't be verified on the spot, it goes in the bin. The consequences hit travelers hard. Expensive electronics disappear. Flights get missed. Hundreds of dollars drop straight into TSA disposal bins because somebody packed something they've carried dozens of times before without any issue. Today I'm walking you through each of these 10 electronics, explaining exactly why they're being confiscated, and telling you what you can do to protect yourself before your next flight. Number 1. Smart luggage. One of the most expensive losses happening at airports right now involves smart luggage, and it catches people who thought they were making a smart purchase. You've probably seen these suitcases. Sleek and modern with built-in USB chargers and GPS tracking features, they get marketed as the ultimate travel upgrade. What they actually represent is one of the fastest ways to lose several $100s before your trip even begins. The rule here works like this, and there's no room for negotiation. Any smart luggage with a non-removable lithium-ion battery cannot fly. Not in the cargo hold, not in the cabin, not under any circumstances. Fire risk drives this ban. Lithium-ion batteries can enter thermal runaway without any warning whatsoever, and when that happens in the cargo hold of an aircraft, the flight crew cannot reach it. The FAA and TSA won't gamble with that scenario, which means the policy stays absolute. And this is where travelers get trapped. People show up at check-in carrying suitcases worth $300 to $500, only to hear that the battery cannot fly. One traveler lost her entire bag because the battery was technically removable, but only with a screwdriver, and she had neither the tool nor the time. Her choice came down to missing the flight or ditching the suitcase right there at the counter. No exceptions came her way, no sympathy either. Zero flexibility. Prevention remains the only solution. Before you pack, check the battery in your smart luggage and confirm you can remove it by hand without any tools. When removal works, take the battery out and carry it with you in the cabin. When it doesn't work without tools, leave that suitcase at home entirely. Number 2. Power banks. Almost everyone flies with a power bank now because phones, tablets, and wireless headphones all need charging, and a portable power bank seems harmless enough. That assumption is exactly why so many travelers get caught off guard. The new CT scanners excel at spotting battery density, and power banks light up those screens instantly. What matters isn't the physical size of your power bank, it's the watt-hour rating, and most people have absolutely no idea what their device actually measures. Under 100 watt-hours, your power bank generally passes, but only when packed in carry-on luggage. Every spare lithium-ion battery, power banks included, is strictly forbidden in checked bags, and anything TSA finds there gets pulled without discussion. Larger power banks rated between 101 and 160 watt-hours require airline approval before you fly. Anything rated over 160 watt-hours cannot fly at all. But here's the part catching experienced travelers off guard. When a TSA officer cannot clearly read the watt-hour rating on your power bank, training tells them to confiscate it. No visible label means no way to verify safety, and no verification means it stays behind. That expensive laptop power bank with the worn-off label ends up gone. That off-brand backup charger with faded text ends up gone. Officers don't guess anymore, and when specifications can't be confirmed on the spot, the device goes in the bin. The solution demands attention to detail. Buy reputable brands that clearly print watt hours on the device, and when the label wears off, print a new one and tape it on securely. Carry on only every single time. Number 3. Loose spare batteries. Travelers carrying cameras, drones, or serious photography equipment need to pay attention here because this section affects them most. Packing spare lithium-ion batteries feels like common sense, since extra power means fewer problems on your trip. That logic holds up right until TSA sees those batteries packed the wrong way. Checked luggage cannot contain spare lithium-ion batteries, and there are no exceptions to this rule whatsoever. Loose batteries can short-circuit when their metal terminals touch other objects, and that contact can cause heat buildup and potentially fire in a cargo hold. TSA won't tolerate that risk. But here's where travelers still lose their batteries, even when they know to pack them in carry-on. Terminal protection is mandatory. Original packaging works. Tape terminals work. Individual plastic bags work. Proper battery cases work. Tossing loose batteries into a pouch and hoping for the best doesn't work at all. The new CT scanners identify the chemical signature of batteries instantly, and when they detect multiple unprotected cells grouped together, that bag gets pulled automatically. Batteries found in checked luggage get confiscated without you being present, and you only find out when you land and discover a TSA notice in your suitcase. Photographers and drone operators take the biggest hit here because they typically carry more batteries than the average traveler, and 2026 leaves no room for learning the hard way. Number 4. Cordless hair tools. This one catches people completely off guard, especially travelers who have flown with the same styling tool for years without ever facing a problem. Cordless curling irons and straighteners and compact travel stylers look innocent enough, but these devices now get flagged more often than ever before. Power source determines everything here. Lithium-ion models follow the same rules as other battery-powered electronics, meaning you pack them in carry-on luggage. That alone isn't enough, though. TSA also considers accidental activation, and when an officer believes the tool could turn on and heat up inside your bag, confiscation follows. No protective lock, no case, no heat guard, and that's all it takes. Butane-powered styling tools create the confusing part. Technically, TSA allows one butane-powered hair tool in your carry-on, but only when it has a safety cover over the heating element, and spare gas cartridges cannot fly at all. Reality looks different from policy, though. Enforcement varies wildly between airports and officers. Some airlines ban these tools entirely, and some TSA officers make their own judgment call regardless of what the regulations say. Travelers have reported losing perfectly rule-compliant butane curlers simply because the officer didn't want to take the risk. Uncertainty means your item stays behind. The safest approach involves sticking with corded hair tools or using a lithium-ion version that you lock, case properly, and keep in your carry-on at all times. Number 5. Vapes and e-cigarettes. Vape users need to understand that this rule cannot be bent even slightly, and the policy stands as absolute. Vapes and e-cigarettes rank among the highest priority items for TSA and the FAA, and zero tolerance means exactly that. Checked luggage cannot contain a vape, e-cigarette, or any electronic smoking device under any circumstances whatsoever. Two risks combine to create this concern. Lithium-ion batteries can overheat and liquids can leak, and together they represent a serious fire hazard in the cargo hold of an aircraft. Carry-on bags or your person are the only options. Even then, TSA requires steps to prevent accidental activation, meaning you power the device off completely, lock it when possible, or remove the battery when that option exists. Vape liquids fall under the standard 3-1-1 rule. 3.4 ounces or 100 milliliters maximum per bottle, placed in a single quart-sized clear bag. Anything larger stays behind. One additional warning applies to international travelers. TSA allows vapes in carry-on bags, but many other countries do not, and some ban them entirely. Flying internationally with a vape can escalate from simple confiscation to significant fines faster than most people expect. Number 6. Electric razors. For decades, electric razors earned their reputation as the definition of a safe travel item. Toss it in the bag, forget about it, no problems whatsoever. That assumption now gets people stopped at security in 2026. The new CT scanners don't recognize an electric razor. What they see instead is a dense cylinder containing a battery, wiring, and a motor. and that combination triggers extra scrutiny every time. Modern, clean, name-brand razors usually pass through without issue. Problems appear with older models, off-brand devices, and razors showing cracked casing, tape holding them together, swelling near the battery, corrosion, or loose parts. On the scanner, those details carry weight. Damage or tampering marks get the bag pulled, and once that happens, the officer faces one question. Can this device be identified as clearly safe right now in this moment? When the answer isn't an immediate yes, caution wins out, and confiscation follows. The ban doesn't apply to razors themselves, it applies to devices that officers cannot confidently identify as non-threatening. Traveling with a razor that looks clean, intact, and obviously factory-made keeps you safe. Beat up, repaired, or questionable-looking devices create unnecessary risk. Number 7. Electric toothbrushes. Electric toothbrushes are allowed, and that's exactly what makes this one so frustrating for travelers who lose them anyway. Extra attention at security now focuses on electric toothbrushes, not because any rule bans them, but because of how they appear on a CT scanner and how they behave inside your bag. A dense tube packed with a motor, wiring, and a lithium-ion battery is what the scanner displays. When that image lacks perfect clarity, automatic classification as a suspicious electronic device follows. Accidental activation causes more confiscations than anything else. A toothbrush that turns on inside your bag and starts vibrating and moving other items around creates an immediate red flag when combined with an unusual CT image. Officers don't wait to figure out what's happening. The bag gets pulled, inspection follows, and discomfort leads to the device staying behind. Visible damage creates the second major trigger. Cracks in the handle, tape, corrosion near the charging port, or any appearance of repair or modification changes how TSA views the object. What started as a toothbrush now looks like a homemade electronic device, and homemade electronics are exactly what these scanners isolate. A hard travel case that covers the power button solves most of these problems. Pack the toothbrush where it won't get crushed and leave old damaged handles at home entirely. Number 8. Drones. Drones represent one of the fastest ways to lose serious money at the airport when rules aren't followed precisely. TSA allows drones in both carry-on and checked luggage according to official policy. Checking a drone in practice turns out to be one of the worst mistakes you can make. Batteries create the problem once again. Spare lithium-ion drone batteries are completely banned from checked bags, and when TSA finds them there, confiscation happens without you being present. The discovery comes when you land and open your suitcase. Even carry-on bags bring heavy scrutiny for drones. Oversized batteries, missing labels, visible modifications, or unclear watt-hour ratings all give officers reason to remove the battery. Professional-level batteries rated over 160 watt-hours create an instant stop, and third-party batteries without visible specifications commonly disappear. But here's what most travelers overlook. Drones attract attention beyond just their batteries. A drone with no registration markings, exposed wiring, custom modifications, or anything that looks homemade can shift quickly from travel gadget to suspicious device. Factory clean appearance, complete labeling, and battery compliance keep your drone safe. Anything less turns into an expensive gamble at security. Number 9. Hidden cameras and spy gear. This category affects fewer travelers than the others, but problems here escalate significantly when they occur. Hidden cameras and spy-style electronics don't face explicit TSA bans, and that technicality creates exactly the trouble that travelers encounter. Pin cameras and USB chargers with hidden lenses and clocks with concealed recorders fall into this category. Any device that looks like one object while containing the components of another triggers scrutiny. The new CT scanners exist specifically to spot anomalies, and a device that doesn't match what it visually claims to be fits the textbook definition of an anomaly perfectly. Detection of a charger with camera wiring inside, or a pin containing a battery, lens, and storage chip, triggers immediate flagging and mandatory bag check and close inspection. That inspection includes questions about what the device is and why you're carrying it. Unclear explanations, modified appearances, or homemade construction give the officer full authority to confiscate, and disguised electronics represent a potential threat from TSA's perspective rather than a novelty item. Not traveling with hidden electronics at all remains the safest approach. Technical permission offers no protection when an officer feels uncomfortable with what they're seeing. Number 10. Rechargeable plasma lighters. This final item catches travelers because it sounds modern, safe, and approved, and marketing reinforces all of those impressions. Rechargeable plasma lighters, also called arc lighters, frequently carry TSA-friendly labels. In 2026, that label misleads people in dangerous ways. Traditional disposable lighters generally pass through carry-on screening without problems. Plasma lighters work differently. Battery power combined with intense heat generation makes both TSA and the FAA extremely cautious about these devices. Official TSA guidance says electronic lighters may be allowed in carry-on bags when protected from accidental activation. Enforcement varies dramatically between airports and between individual officers, though. One checkpoint might let your plasma lighter through, while the next sends the identical device straight into the disposal bin. The final decision belongs to the officer standing there, and 2026 training emphasizes avoiding risk rather than debating policy details. Anything with a lithium-ion battery designed specifically to create heat draws extra scrutiny. The reliable solution involves skipping the fancy gadget entirely. A simple disposable lighter costs less, shows clearly on the scanner, and rarely causes any problems at all. Everything covered today comes down to one reality. In 2026, anything with a lithium-ion battery faces microscope-level examination at airport security. Smart luggage, power banks, vapes, grooming tools, even your toothbrush. Damage, missing labels, lack of protection, or modified appearance turns any of these items into a problem quickly. These CT scanners don't care how many times you've traveled with that item before, and your travel history means nothing to them. Officers operating those checkpoints no longer give warnings. Good news exists, though. A few minutes of preparation at home prevents all of this. Check your gear before packing. Remove batteries from smart luggage. Confirm your power banks have visible, readable watt-hour labels. Protect battery terminals with tape or cases. Use containers that prevent accidental activation. These small steps save you from losing expensive equipment and missing flights entirely. Airport security keeps getting smarter rather than easier. The scanners see more than they ever have before, and enforcement runs stricter than ever. Subscribing keeps you informed about travel updates that matter. And when you've had something confiscated at airport security, sharing your experience in the comments might help another traveler avoid the same situation. Stay prepared, stay informed, and fly smart.